तेरा कितना
Where she at? I'm searching for this fine shorty, and it ain't like I be getting naughty. I'm for real.
तुझे पकड़ने के लिए सफेद शेरवानी सिलवाता
When you hear me say that, madly searching for this fine shorty. In my world, the number one hottie. Everywhere she make him go crazy.
Two haunted palaces, one iconic dancer's ghost, 17 years apart. Hi everyone. We are here to break down how psychological realism turned into supernatural spectacle and what it says about Indian cinema's evolution. Most of us grew up hearing the name Manjulika as something genuinely scary, and that itself tells you how powerful the first film was. It didn't just succeed commercially, it set a benchmark for horror comedy in Bollywood, proving that you could scare audiences without relying on loud VFX or cheap jump scares. Bhulaiyaa convinced us madness was the real monster. Bhulaiyaa 3 brought the ghosts back to life. Why did Bollywood's smartest horror comedy become its loudest franchise? Both films trace their roots back to the Malayalam classic Mani Chitradhasu, but they take the story in very different directions. The 2007 Bhulaiyaa follows Siddharth and Avni, a newly married couple who return to their ancestral palace in Varanasi. Once, Avni opens a locked room tied to the legend of the dancer Manjulika. Strange events began to unfold. What makes the film special is its reveal. There is no ghost. Instead, Avni suffers from dissociative identity disorder, where suppressed trauma manifests as the Manjulika persona. Akshay Kumar's psychiatrist character doesn't fight spirits. He fights superstition using science and empathy. That realism is what made the film unforgettable. Now, contrast that the Bhulaiyaa 3. The 2024 sequel leans heavily into spectacle. Kartik Aaryan plays Ruhan, a fake ghostbuster who enters a haunted palace filled with real possessions, CGI heavy hauntings, and a dragged out character introduction that tests the audience's patience. While visually loud, it loses the supple intelligence that defined the original. With that foundation, let's move to the themes behind these choices.
So the themes, they couldn't be more different. It's like day and night.
Back in 2007, it's all about this deep psychoanalytic vibe. Think about Avni. She's crushed under all this cultural baggage and family pressure, right? Flashbacks hit hard, showing her shoved into a marriage she didn't want. And boom, her mind cracks open, channeling the ghost of Manjulika, that tragical royal dancer crushed by forbidden love. But here's the genius. Aditya swoops in with rational therapy, proving it's not some spooky spirit, it's just her trauma talking. Super progressive for Bollywood back then, turning madness into this heartbreaking cry against patriarchy. No wonder it feels so real and so raw.
Fast forward to Bhulaiyaa 3, and well, it flips the script to full-on supernatural gender drama.
The ghost is Prince Debendranath, this poor guy killed for daring to dance as a woman, fighting for acceptance. The sisters, Anjulika and Manjulika, plot against him with rebirth twists and all. But it trades that sharp edge for big fun spectacle. The 2007 movie goes from repression to therapy via science, while the 2024's sequel adds all spirits and exorcism for gender fluidity. The first movie set the benchmark for the whole franchise with its psych edge, while Bhulaiyaa 3 got boos from the audiences for various reasons that you'll get to hear by the end of this video. Over to Member 3 for the genre scoop.
Alright, let's dive into how the genre and style completely flipped between these two films that were really seen the franchise's evolution or maybe its deadline. Priyadarshan's 2007 Bhulaiyaa set an unbeatable benchmark for horror comedy in Bollywood. It nailed a tense 70-30 split, mostly psychological thriller with just enough comedy to breathe. The scares relied on smart practical effects, think those chilling grungru sounds echoing through dark palace halls, flickering candlelights and shadowy figures that made your heart race without any grimacing. Forward to 2024 film and its total deterioration in 60% slapstick comedy and 40% over-the-top horror. Kartik Aaryan's endless chase through CGI ghost portal feel like a video game gone wrong. With unnecessary VFX montages and floating spirits and glowing eyes that scream budget blockbuster instead of mystery. The pacing drags in the first half, wasting time on quickery character introductions and goofy music that kills any build-up. This shift trades the original innovative age for Diwali spectacle, now handing off to member 4 on characters.
Characters make or break horror comedy. BHULAIYAA built its legend on psychological depth.
Akshay Kumar's Aditya break every Bollywood hero mold. No shirtless action, no one-liners. He's a psychiatrist who listens first. Watch this. He mirrors Avni's nervous hand twitch, then dances her back to buried memories. Every micro-expression sells it. Curiosity masking genuine fear. With their balance, Avni doesn't just possess, she fractures. Notice that subtle tells? Trembling fingers, voice cracking mid-sentences, then full Manjulika rage erupts. No cheap jump cuts, just human fragility exploding from trauma. Even Rajpal Yadav's terrified Pandit lands comedy through superstition's real awkwardness. Watch him fumble rituals while glancing at shadows. These aren't stock characters. They are people unraveling thread by thread.
BHULAIYAA 3 trades intimacy for excess.
Kartik Aaryan's Ruhan crashes in. Pure chaotic energy. But where Aditya observes quietly for 20 minutes, Ruhan demands attention with endless intro gags. Ghosts popping from every corner. VFX montages burying characters' work under spectacle. With their returns as fierce Manjulika, her intensity still cuts through. Especially that electric dance-off with Madhuri's Anjulika, pure nostalgia fire. The cross-dressing prince ghost, promising promise. But backstory hits via disaster exposition, not lived through performance. 2007 set an unbreakable benchmark. Layered psychs powering genuine horror. The sequel, characters become vehicles for CGI flash and fan service. Depth deteriorates into distraction. And that's when you realize these characters weren't just acting, they were carrying 2 franchises on their shoulder. But what happens when the wrong one takes over? Let's see what the conclusion says.
Look at this evolution, guys. It's like watching Bollywood's horror comedy Soul laid bare. Back in 2007, the original Bhool Bhulaiyaa didn't just drop. It shattered expectations and set this unbeatable benchmark for the whole franchise. With that cult 7.5 by 10 on IMDb, it proved psychological horror could actually thrive in our masala-loving industry. It challenged our minds, made us question sanity versus superstition, and inspired a wave of remakes because it was fresh, innovative, and smart. That was the gold standard, depth over dazzle. Fast forward to Bhool Bhulaiyaa 3, or whatever they're calling this cash grab now. It exploded as a Diwali blockbuster, collecting over 200 crore. But at what cost? Both still thrill us with her iconic haunts, but the original made us think, while the sequels just entertain on autopilot. It's Bollywood's big pivot in a nutshell.
यहाँ मौत आई हुई है और इनका DID खत्म नहीं हो रहा. नाचो सालो, मैं तो निकल रहा हूँ.
तेरी